This is a review for Midnight Express, directed by Alan Parker, Oliver Stone, and a few others. Wrote the screenplay, starring Brad Davis. So this is a pretty famous movie. The summary: Billy A's, an American college student, is caught smuggling drugs out of Turkey and thrown into prison. Um, so he's in Turkey with his girlfriend, and they're about to leave. He's taping drugs to his stomach, and they are they go to the airport. He gets through everything. He thinks he's okay, but then at the actual plane, they check people again. And this time they actually pat him down, and he gets caught, and he gets thrown in a Turkish prison, and it's really bad. So, um, so this is based on a true story. Um, there's some interviews with the guy. I think it was in 1969 or 1970, and he says he did this a couple times, like three or four times. And this is the fourth time he got caught. So, um, so yeah, I've seen this before. I don't know. Alan Parker, the director, did Mississippi Burning, Angel Heart. So he's done a couple movies. Bugsy Malone. I've seen Angel Heart. I've seen Mississippi Burning. Um, but yeah, it's a really good movie. Brad Davis does a great job in it. Um, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. It's like he's in this prison. It's really terrible. It's in Turkey. It's pretty brutal. Um, Good cast. Randy Quaid, John Hurt, become his friends, and is this Norbert Weisner also, I think, becomes his friend. I think he's like Swedish or something. Um, but yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. If you're a fan of Oliver Stone, um, but it's just a really solid movie. Very intense, and I definitely recommend it. So yeah, I'll go into spoilers. So he gets caught. He gets approached by someone who says he works for the consulate, which is funny because that guy, what's his name? I just was watching American Graffiti, and he's in that. He's like the leader of the Pharaohs, the gang that Richard Dreyfuss kind of gets mixed up with in that movie. That's a great movie. George Lucas. I don't know his name, but and he gets told, okay, look, like help us catch the guy that gave it to you, and then we'll give you like a light sentence. He says it was a taxi driver. He says he can get a hold of the guy again, but he tries to, and I don't know why, but he just runs away. I guess he's thinking, well, there's no way I'm gonna find this guy again. I don't know, something like that. Um, and the interviews with the real guy, he was saying, I think, that he got it from, um was he a taxi driver? But he was like friends with the guy, like he knew his family, and like he would eat dinner and have tea with his family. So I don't know if he didn't want to turn them in or what. Um, but he gets put in this prison. Paul L. Smith plays like the prison warden. He's like a really mean, evil guy. Um, he has to. There's a lot of drug use in the prison, which is like they get caught for drug use, but there's tons of drug use in the prison. John Hurt is like an addict. Randy Quaid is like pretty crazy. They said he stole from a mosque. Probably isn't too smart to do in Turkey. He said he like stole like two candles, and he's been in there for like I think like 5 years. I think John Hurt and him have been there for like 5 years. I think Hurt's been in there for 7, 8 years. Um, and then throughout the movie, he gets like I think 4 or 5 years, but then later on in the movie, um, and I don't understand the Turkish legal system, but the prosecutor wanted to give him life, and he got like 5, 6 years because actually the judge in their case actually like liked him, didn't want to go that hard on him because they got him for just transporting drugs, not for smuggling. So the smuggling you get way worse. So the prosecutor like appealed it to a higher court, and the higher court agreed with the prosecutor, and then it was like he was like I think like 50 days away from getting out. It's been like 4.5 years, and they give him life. So he's super angry. He was about to get out. They give him life. He kind of goes crazy and says to his friends, Randy Quaid, who earlier was like, "Hey, I think we could escape. There's these tunnels underneath, and we can go through them." I think he said they were made by Christians or something like hundreds of years ago. And so they do that. And earlier, Randy Quaid was beat up pretty bad. So he's kind of like sick. He's got to get out of there. So him, Randy Quaid, and John Hurt um, try and escape, and they kind of get lost underneath there. They don't know where to go. So they come back up because they're doing this in the middle of the night when people are sleeping. They come back up and they put the wall back together because the wall is right next to the shower, and the water has made it all weak and porous. This one guy who's like the snitch, and he's Turkish. He basically snitches on everyone to the guards. Finds the hole in the wall, reports it, and then it all gets basically blamed on Randy Quaid because earlier he was already he tried to escape earlier. Yeah, I think earlier he tried to escape, and they just beat him up really bad. So this is like a few months after that. So the guards just blame him. They beat him up again. In fact, I'm not sure you see him after that. So I don't know. Maybe they killed him. I don't know. Um. So then him and John Hurt are there, and um and then to the snitch, he has a bunch of money that he hides. They know where he hides it, so they take his money, they destroy it, and they put it in his tea. That he sells like this watered down, cheap tea to everyone, because he's got his own little hustle going in there, and so it's like his life savings. It's all destroyed. He then freaks out. He gets the guards. The guards beat them both up. John Hurt and Brad Davis, and they put them in. Um, basically like the insane asylum, and and Brad Davis is like, basically they're just totally depressed. Um, you don't really see John Hurt much after that, but Brad Davis is basically losing it. He's just like totally depressed. Um, and then he's being visited by his father and some other people. He's visited by his girlfriend who's with him, and she she says you got to get out of here. She gives him a book full of pictures, and then she's like, "Look at the back of the book. There's something important." And he does. He opens it up. It has money in it. So he's thinking, okay, I could bribe my way out of here. He tries to do that through the warden who hates him. He gives him some money, and the warden's like, okay, come with me. And then he's just gonna take him back to, I think, there's like the insane asylum and the sanitarium. I think the sanitarium is um, like a hospital, kind of very basic hospital. But anyways, they he takes him into a room. He's gonna like attack him or assault him or something, and he fights back. He throws him, pushes him. The guy hits this spike that's coming out of the wall. He dies. So he then takes his clothes, puts it on, and he just walks out of the prison. Um, and then he has some money, and I guess what you do then is you pay people to get you across the border to Greece, and then I think he flew home, or he flew to the UK, then flew home. Um, but yeah, very good movie, very good acting. I mean, just so it's such an intense movie. Very well directed by Alan Parker, who should check out some more of his movies. I mean, I've seen Mississippi Burning. That's a good movie, but he before he leaves, he tells John Hurt he's gonna get him out. I'm not sure if he ever did. Um, so he goes back home, and yeah, and he meets with his family, and uh, this is a true story. Um, it's a very good movie. Randy Quaid's awesome in it. He's one of my favorite actors. He's such a good actor, Randy Quaid. I mean, he's in Independence Day. He's got that great scene. He was abducted by aliens. People think he's crazy, but in the end, he's right. He's got that great scene with at the end when he has his jet flying towards the whatever the cannon. And he's like, "Hello, boys, I'm back." Um, just an awesome actor, but definitely recommend this movie. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Um, and yeah, after you do, you can watch interview. There's a few interviews on YouTube with the real life guy. So, but I guess that's about it. Um, Definitely recommend it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that's it.